Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, all holy praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, who came in the divine person, the Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last apostle, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I would like to greet my brothers and sisters in the nation's greetings of peace and paradise of Assalamu alaikum. My name is Brother Jason, and I'm a proud registered member of the Nation of Islam. First, I want to thank Allah, Master Farad Muhammad, for the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I want to thank each and every one of you for taking your time out of your day to come and study this great teaching with us. Tonight, we're continuing our study of Our Saviour Has Arrived, and we have reached chapter 19 entitled The Black Man. Before we open the chapter, I want to make some things very plain. When we use the term black man, we are not excluding the black woman. We're not excluding the black child. We're speaking about all black people, the whole black family, the black man, the black woman, and our children. We're talking about the members of the original black nation. The subject before us tonight is the black man. But the knowledge in this teachings belongs to all of us. Now, brothers and sisters, one of the very first things we are ever required to learn is the identity of the original man. Before we are given lesson number 1, before we are given anything else, Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever, asked us one question. Question 1 of our student enrollment. Who is the original man? And the answer we are required to know 100%. The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Sit with that word for a minute. Original. Original comes to us from the Latin word orgo, which means a source, a rise, a beginning. The original of a thing is the first of it. It is the one everyone comes from. It is not a copy. It is not a version. It's the source itself. So when Master Farad Muhammad calls us the original man, he is telling us what we are, the maker, the owner. But here is my question to you all tonight. What does that mean to a people who have been deprived of a knowledge of themselves? You can be the maker and not know it. You can be the owner and not know it. You can be the cream of the planet Earth and be walking around begging the very people who took it from you. This is why this subject today is so important. We're not merely studying Black history. We're studying ourselves. We're studying who we are, where we came from, what happened to us, and what Allah intends for us to become. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that the black man in America has been deprived of the knowledge of himself. And in this very chapter, he tells us what has to happen about it. He says that in order for us to be restored back to our people, we must be re-educated into the knowledge of ourselves. That is the key, knowledge of ourselves. Now, think with me about what that key is. Because when a man does not know himself, somebody else can name him. Somebody else can define him. Somebody else can tell him his history. Somebody else can tell him what his God looks like. And after generations of that, brothers and sisters, that person that does not have the knowledge of himself, he begins to believe what he was taught about himself by others. He will go out of his way even to defend that lie that was taught to him. He will argue with you with the very name that was put on him as well. He will fight you over a God that does not look like him. That is the ignorance that we're talking about. This is a man arguing with the lie that was told to him. So Allah, Master Farad Muhammad, did not leave us in that condition. According to the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Allah himself came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. He came to us. He made himself known to a people who have lost the knowledge of themselves. Think about the mercy in that. We were so deeply asleep into the knowledge of self that a prophet alone was not enough. A preacher was not enough. A politician was not enough. An ordinary teacher was not enough. God had to come himself. It's a beautiful blessing, brothers and sisters. And when he came, he began revealing the truth about himself, the truth about our people, and the truth about our identity. Just imagine how dark our condition would still be if Allah had not made himself known to us. How could we ever truly know ourselves while we remain ignorant of the God from whom our life, our history, and our very nature come? You cannot know the branch while you're lying about the root. This is why the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that the coming of Allah brought us the light of truth, the knowledge of God, the knowledge of self, and the knowledge we needed to understand the condition we have fallen into. And this knowledge is not given to make us proud or boastful, brothers and sisters. It is given to make us love ourselves again. It is given to make us love one another and our own kind again. It is given to restore dignity back to the black man and woman and a righteous future for ourselves, our communities, and our children. The messenger tells us in this very chapter in his own words, to restore him back to his people, he must be re-educated to give him the knowledge of self and the knowledge of those who deprive him of the knowledge of self. This knowledge of self will unite him onto his own kind with love of self and kind. So this class is about more than learning information. We're on a mission, brothers and sisters, back to ourselves. Every week, rain, sleet, hail, or snow, we come back to this teaching because we are trying to recover something that was taken from us, the knowledge of who we are. So I thank you, brothers and sisters, for being here. I thank you for studying with us. I thank you for keeping an open heart and an open mind. As we go into this chapter, remember where it comes from. What the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is about to place before us comes out of love. Love for Allah, love for self, love for our people, and love for the truth that has come to raise us out of our mental and spiritual death. Some of what he says in these pages is going to be sharp. He's going to tell us plainly what was done to us. And he's going to use words we rather not hear said about ourselves. Do not flinch from it. A doctor will not name the sickness he cannot cure. The messenger names it because he loves us. May Allah bless us to hear it, understand it, and grow in the knowledge of ourselves. With that being said, brothers and sisters, let us open up to Our Saviour Has Arrived, chapter 19, the black man, and let us hear the messenger of Allah tell us who we are in his own words. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad opened up this chapter by telling us, according to the teachings to me, Elijah Muhammad, of man's histories by Allah, God, in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, praise is due to him forever, the Great Mahdi and the Messiah that the world has been expected to come for the last 2,000 years, has come and is going about his work as has been predicted that he would do. Now, brothers and sisters, a lot in that one paragraph. Now, let us look at the very first words out of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's mouth. According to the teachings to me, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, of man's histories. Now, that is important, and I want you to see why that is important. The messenger did not open this chapter with his own opinion. He does not open it up with theory. He does not say, I have been studying, here is what I figured out. He opens it by naming his source, according to. That phrase means in agreement with, in accordance with, measured by. When a man says according to, he is telling you that he is not the author of what is about to come out of his mouth. He is the carrier of it. So before he tells you one word about the black man, he tells you where the information came from. And that is the mark of a truthful teacher. The liar never wants you to check his sources. The messenger names his source in the first breath. And look at what he was taught. Notice he says histories. The histories of man. He is going to tell us in the very next paragraph of the two histories of these people, black and white. Because there are two people on this earth and they do not have the same beginning. And they do not have the same nature. And of course, they do not have the same end. So we are not talking about one little piece of history here, brothers and sisters. We're talking about the history of man himself, the true history of human beings on this planet Earth. And why is that so important to you and I today? Because the people who do not know their history do not know themselves. And the people who do not know themselves can be told anything. And this is what's been going on. So if we do not have the knowledge of ourselves, we can be easily deceived. And we will not even know we are being deceived. And that's the worst part of it. A man who knows he is being lied to is still in a fight. A man who does not know he's being lied to has already been beaten. Think that over. So Allah came and taught the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad the true history of man so that he could turn around and teach you and I and bring us up out of this confusion that you see in the world today. And that is part of our resurrection. That is what's gaining the knowledge of self actually is. In that paragraph, the messenger tells us who taught him. He puts a name on it. He says, by Allah, in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, praise is due forever. Now, let's stop right there and listen to what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad just said, because we take these words sometimes on face value. We don't put no thought into the words that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says sometimes. He did not say a spirit taught him. He did not say he had a feeling. He did not say something came to him in a dream. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, Allah, God in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever, taught him. In the person. Now, a person is somebody you can look at. A person is someone you can talk to. A person is someone who can sit down with you in a room. A person has a name. A person has a face. And that person taught the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad for 3.5 years. Exactly what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us. The whole world, as we understand, and many of us came by this teaching, have been looking up for that God. And the messenger is telling us that that God came down and taught a man, and that man, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is teaching us today. And notice the praise, because we can't let that go as well. He says praise is due to him forever, not for a season, not while it's convenient, forever. The messenger never says the name Master Farah Muhammad without laying the praise besides it. Watch him through his books, and you will see it every single time. That is a lesson in itself for you and I, and how we are to carry the name of the one who found us. Then he gives us two titles, brothers and sisters, and we have to understand these two titles because they tell us who Master Farah Muhammad is and what work he came here to do. He says the Great Mahdi and the Messiah. Now let us take them one at a time. The messenger himself tells us what Mahdi means. He says it means the guide, the restorer of the kingdom of righteousness. Now, hear the difference in that, because the difference is everything. The scholars of the world will tell you Mahdi means the guided one, somebody who was guided, somebody who was led. The messenger says the guide. So there's no suffix at the end of the guide. The one doing the leading, the one out in front, the one who takes the lost man by the hand and walks him back, the guide. And Master Farad Muhammad said it of himself when the messenger asked him plainly, "Who are you? And what is your real name?" He answered, "My name is Mahdi. I am God. I came to guide you into the right path that you may be successful and see the hereafter." He said, "I came to guide you." Think that over. Now, think with me about that one sentence right now. He says he came to guide us into the right path. Then that tells us we were not on the right path. If he came to give us knowledge, then that tells us we have been deprived of some knowledge. And if he came to resurrect us, then that tells us we were dead mentally. You do not send a guide to a people who know where they're going. You do not send a doctor into a house when nobody is sick. The remedy always tells you the condition. And the remedy that came was a guide who tells you exactly how we were lost. Now, why does the messenger say the Great Mahdi? Why not just the Mahdi? Because the messenger is careful with his words and he chooses them very wisely. He says that this one is sometimes called the Great Mahdi to make a distinction from many others who would be called by such names, as there are many Muslims who have adopted Mahdi, like the many people who have adopted Jesus for their names. Many people call themselves by Jesus. So the word great is a separator. Many men have taken up that name Mahdi. Many men have worn that title. The messenger says plainly that many men rose up going in the name of the Mahdi, but were not the true Mahdi. So he puts the word great on it so that you and I never get confused by the many men who took the name with the one who is the person himself. Then he calls him by a second title, and that is Messiah. Brothers and sisters, the Christian world have been waiting for the Messiah. 2,000 years of waiting for that Messiah. 2,000 years of Sunday after Sunday waiting for the Messiah. The Muslim world have been waiting for the Mahdi. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is teaching us here that they were not waiting on two different men. They were waiting on the same man. The Mahdi and the Messiah are fulfilled in one person. And according to the Messenger of Allah, that one is Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. So both, as they call it today, religions is waiting for two different individuals. But it's this one man that came and is here. He says it just as plainly in the program on the back of the Muhammad Speaks. Allah appeared in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the long-awaited Messiah of the Christians and the Mahdi of the Muslims. Now, what does Messiah mean? The messenger tells us that definition as well, because we always want to take what the messenger's definition over what Webster or Cambridge or any of these worldly definitions are. Remember that. Because a man that speaks divine and was taught divinely has the authority over words. Now, what does the Messiah mean? He teaches that the meaning of Christ, which is the same word as Messiah carried into another language, is the crusher. He says the name means one coming in the last day or crusher. He crushes the wicked, Christ the crusher. So now look at what we have. Look at both sides of the work laid out into two words. As the Mahdi he guides, as the Messiah he crushes. As the Mahdi he raises up the righteous, as the Messiah he brings the wicked to an end. One hand lifts and the other hand tears down. He is the guide to the lost, and he is the crusher of the wicked. And he is both of those at the same time in the same person. In our own day today. They ain't got to wait for this. Brothers and sisters, this is not a small thing. Any preacher will tell you today, God is love. Ask him if God is a crusher and watch his face change. The messenger gives us the whole God, not just half of him. Now here is where the messenger says something the whole world walks past. He says the world has been expecting him to come for the last 2,000 years. And then he settles that account by saying, has come. Brothers and sisters, that changes everything in the room. He did not say he was coming. He did not say he might come. He did not say wait on him another 2,000 years and see what happens. He said has come. Past tense. Finished. Settled. Done. Put a period on the back of that. So the question in this room tonight is not when is God coming? Everybody out there still asking that question. And they're going to keep asking it until they die asking it. According to the teaching of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the real question is a different one altogether. That the people recognize him when he came. And brothers and sisters, that's exactly where the problem is today. Because plenty of people will tell you they believe in one God. Say it at any barbershop in this city and everybody will agree with you. But ask them the next question. What God are you talking about? Is that God known? Can you point him out? Can you tell me his name? Can you tell me when he came and where he came and what he said and what he did? Or are you talking about that mystery God? Somebody nobody has seen, nobody can name, and nobody has ever said they heard one word directly from his mouth. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Allah made himself known. Think that over. But nobody recognized him but just a select few. And the Bible talks about that. The messenger brings up a story of Baal and a donkey. And we ain't gonna go into that today, but that's a great story. Not recognize Allah. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, Allah made himself known to us. He did not stay hidden. He did not stay a mystery. And when he made himself known to somebody in a place and a time and for a purpose. The messenger says, and is going about his work as it has been predicted that he would do. Remember, brothers and sisters, Allah didn't come just to tell us his name. He came to do a work. And notice the messenger says he's going about that work. Present tense, not past tense. Present tense, not finished. Still moving, still working right now while you and I sit in this room today. So what is that work? A major part of that work is you and me. He came to wake us up. He came to give us a knowledge of ourselves. He came to teach us who we are. He came to teach us who our people are. And he came to teach us who our enemy is. And most importantly, he came to teach us on himself, God, Allah, himself, and us. Now, let me ask you a question, brothers and sisters. If Allah had come here in 1930 only to destroy, only as a crusher, only to bring the wicked to their end and nothing else, what would have had happened to you and I? Think that over. We were dead to the knowledge of ourselves. Think about the times. You got history books. You could look back. We did not know who we were. We didn't know our history. And this is a fact because we don't know it 2026. I'm not saying nothing that's foreign. We don't know this information today. And it's been here since 1930. We don't know our enemy. We still calling him our friend. In that condition, we are described as deaf, dumb, and blind. So if judgment had come and nothing else had come with it, we would have been swept up in it right along with the ones that destruction was meant for. We would have gone down defending the very people God came to remove. This is why the work had to include the resurrection first. He had to raise up a messenger. He had to teach that messenger for 3 years, night and day. And of course, that messenger had to teach us. And that, brothers and sisters, is why we're sitting in these chairs today on a Wednesday night. We're not in a hobby class. We're not in a discussion group. We are part of the work. The work the messenger says he's going about is going on right in this room today. Every time we study the teachings and gain one more piece of knowledge about ourselves, we are being raised. Every time we learn something that takes the confusion out of us, we are being raised. Every time we come into a clear understanding of Allah, who came in a divine person, the Master Farah Muhammad, to whom praises is due forever, of ourselves and our own people, we are being raised. Look at the last words again, as it has been predicted that he would do. The messenger is handing us a measuring stick. He is saying, don't just take my words. There was a prediction. Go ahead and read what was predicted and then look at what is happening and see whether they match. The messenger never asks us to believe blind or take anything on face value. Our lessons tell us that. That's the 85% of the population. They take things on face value. They know not what. He asks us to check the prediction against the work of the resurrection. So this one paragraph before the messenger tells us one word about the black man has already established three things. Number one, who taught the messenger? Allah, God in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. Number two, who is Master Farah Muhammad? The Great Mahdi and the Messiah, the guide and the crusher, the one both worlds, Christian and Muslim, were waiting on. Number three, what did he come to do? He came to go about his work, and that work is the resurrection, the guidance, and the restoration of a people who have been lost for the knowledge of themselves. Now, understand the order the messenger put those in, because the order is the teaching. The Mahdi has come. The Messiah has come. And he is already going about his work as he predicted to do. And part of that, as I said, is us coming back to the knowledge of ourselves. So let us hold on to that, because that's very important. Because we don't want to continue to be confused about the guide and what to follow, because that is the foundation of all teachings. That gives you your course of study. That gives you your course of reference. That gives you your foundation. And when you build on that foundation, you cannot go astray, because you following the guide, a divine one. So the messenger says in the next paragraph, he taught me for 3 years, night and day, on the histories of the two people, black and white. Brothers and sisters, he says he taught me, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Look at what the messenger said. A God came. See, many people still can't fathom, after being predicted of him coming, that God has come. The messenger didn't say, I figured this all out by myself. I came up with this beautiful divine teaching to resurrect the black nation. He didn't say that. He said he taught me. And who is he? The messenger already told us in paragraph number 1, Allah, God in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, to whom all praises is due forever. So the messenger goes on to say, God came in 1931 in Detroit, Michigan. He taught me for 3 years and 4 months in person. I was not dreaming. I was looking at him in person for 3 years and 4 months. He taught me night and day. I used to be glad to get a little sleep when he would tell me, I will be back. I would say, I hope it will be long enough for me to get a little sleep. The messenger, think over that. You got to see the wisdom in that he was able to deposit into the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad for just 3 years and 4 months. And what the messenger was able to do with that wisdom. It is told that the messenger did not forget one word that the God told him. How heavy his memory had to be. God prepared them to be able to take the information and the knowledge of himself where he won't be able to forget it, because you can see he didn't forget it, because look at the work he was able to do with a godly education, because the messenger didn't really have any schooling. You got to just do the math. If you're not getting an education today that's proper, imagine in those times. So the messenger says, I was not dreaming. He knew exactly what people would say about him. He knew that they would call it a vision. He knew that they would call it a spirit. He knew that they would say that man had an experience. So he closes that door himself. He says, I was not dreaming. I was looking at him in person. Because, you know, people always want to make some type of spook out of something. The man was in the room with him, told him. The messenger does something that ought to stop every one of us. Listen to what he refuses to do. This is a very, very important point. This is a very, very important point. The messenger says, I don't think I would be wise to say that I taught myself and I taught you thus and thus. No, he taught me thus and thus. He says, I didn't know anything. I didn't know my name. I was calling myself by the white man's name. There's a very, very, very important point I'm about to go into that I want us to truly understand. Because, brothers and sisters, this is a man that Allah chose, telling you what he was before Allah got to him. This is the messenger of Allah. This is the man that the whole nation of Islam follows. And he stands in front of thousands of people and say, before he found me, I didn't even know what to call myself. Now hold that up against yourself for a minute. If some of us in this room feel too far gone, too uneducated, too old, too broken, too behind, hear what the messenger just told us. The man Allah picked up did not know his own name either. Allah did not go looking for the most qualified man in America. He went looking for a man he could teach. And then he taught him for 3 years and 4 months until that man could stand up and teach the world. So the question for you is not whether you know enough to be used. The question is whether you can be taught. And there is a second lesson in that same refusal. And it is a lesson in humility. You'll notice the messenger says in the same way every single time in every book and every lecture for 44 years. Allah taught me. He gave me thus and thus. He never once took it for himself. And this is a man who could have. He could have said, look what I built. Look at these temples. Look at this nation. I raised you and I up out of nothing. But he never says that. Every time he opens his mouth, he gives credit back to the one who gave it to him. Now let us bring that lesson in our own lives, because this is where it touches every person in the room. When Allah blesses you and I with knowledge, we should not get puffed up over it. When Allah blesses you with an ability and I with an ability, we shouldn't take it to our head. When Allah blesses us with influence or position or following among your people, we should not get too haughty, terrible spirit, like I did this. Say what the messenger said. All praise is due to Allah. Because talent without humility will destroy a man. Knowledge without humility will destroy a man faster, because now he has something to be arrogant with. A little bit of light in the proud man's hand becomes a weapon he uses on his own people. This is why humility is not a soft quality. Humility is what keeps the gift that Allah gives each and every one of us safe. Whatever truth you have learned, you learned it from somebody. Whatever ability you have developed, Allah put that capacity in you before you ever developed it. So when the praises come to you, pass it through to where it belongs. As the messenger says, for 3 years, night and day. Now think about the length and the intensity of that, because both are teaching us something. Not 3 conversations, not 3 meetings, not 3 weekends in a hotel, 3 years. Night and day means there was no days off. It means the teaching did not stop when the sun went down. It means there was no semester, no summer breaks, no graduation ceremonies in the middle. The messenger tells us he was hoping for enough of a gap to catch him sleep. And that is the pace God set on him. Now, brothers and sisters, let us put something honest in front of us. We come here one night a week, one night. And some of us come in without having open the book since the last time we sat in the chairs. I'm not trying to scold anyone, but I'm asking you to see the difference between what it took to receive this teaching and what we are putting in to receive it from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. He gave 3 years, night and day, so that we can have it 1 hour on a Wednesday. And then after he got it for 3 years, in 4 months, he went to work for 44 years straight. Never took a day off. The least you and I can do is open the books between classes, study, and practice that which God came to give us for free. We got divine knowledge that could put us on top of civilization and we don't pick it up. That shows how bad our condition is. If you got something in front of you that can free you, if I gave you a money machine right now and I says, this prints dollars every time you stand by it, you would never leave that money machine because you see value in that. But we are not seeing value in its divine teachings because we're not putting it to work and putting it to practice and letting it change our lives for the better because it's going to. No way you can study these teachings and not change your family dynamic, your home dynamic, your living dynamic. It's impossible. When you hear the messenger speak with certainty, he is under direct instruction. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is telling us that we should study to show ourselves approved, brothers and sisters, so we won't be tricked and we can put ourselves in a better condition. So we have to learn to accept our own. And one of the great dangers in this work is a man wanting to be somebody other than who Allah made him to be. This is very important. We got to accept our own. Everybody who stands up and makes a claim is not sent by God. Everybody who quotes the messenger's word is not the messenger. Everybody who learns the teaching is not a man who received it from the mouth of Allah. And the messenger warned us about this exactly. He took the scripture and he opened up on leadership. He says, all before me were thieves and robbers. This means leadership. And then he told us who those leaders, he said, they always looked to see how heavy your pockets were, and they set out to rob them. I see how, this the messenger said, I see how empty your pockets are. I said to put something in it. And this is how you tell the difference between a man sent to you and a man sent at you. One is measuring what you have. The other is measuring what you need. So we respect divine order in this nation. Let the messenger be the messenger. Let the teacher be the teacher. Let the student be the student and study, and let the laborer labor. And whatever position Allah bless you and I with and has given us, brothers and sisters, that's a beautiful position. A beautiful position. Now hear it from our lessons, from the original rules of instructions that Master Farah Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever, gave to the laborers before his departure. He says each student must qualify his or herself of positions awaiting them. Positions, plural. And look at the word awaiting. There is a position already awaiting on you. There is a position already waiting on me. It has our name on it. Nobody else can fill it, and you cannot fill anybody else's position. Your work is to qualify for that one thing that is waiting. Not to go stand in a place that was never assigned to you. And he says it even more directly in the 11th rule. He says, brothers and sisters, y'all all get busy and help to arise the dead nation and place them on top of civilization. My dearest desire is to give everyone his or her own. I don't want importance among the officials nor the laborers. Do not do other than yourself. Brothers and sisters, sit with that for a second. I do not want importance among the officials nor the laborers, God himself said. Laying down the rules for his own nation. Says he does not want importance seeking among us. And then 4 words that ought to be written on the wall of every temple, every house, everywhere you go. You know how you write things to remind you of certain things? People put it on their bathroom windows. They affirmations everywhere you go. This is an affirmation that we need to understand that the God gave us. He says, do not do other than yourself. Do not do other than yourself. This is the whole lesson in just 4 words. Do not do other than yourself. Do not be other than yourself. Do not perform somebody else's assignment. Be who you were made to be and be that way all the way. So don't discount yourself trying to become somebody else. Do not look at another person's position and decide that yours has no worth. Every brother in here has value. Every sister in here has value. Every child we bring through that door has value. Every believer who takes his or her proper place is building something, whether anybody claps for it or not. You don't need a title to have value. You don't need a microphone to have value. Half the work that holds the temple together is done by people whose names will never be called from the front. Somebody unlocked the door tonight. Somebody set up these chairs. Somebody brought a guest. Somebody is raising children who will carry this teaching after we are gone. None of that requires a title, and all of it is the work. So there is no big eyes and little U's among us. The object is not importance. The object is service. The object is resurrection. The object is raising our people up off the ground. And if Allah gave you a little light, shine with that light. Shine, shine, shine. If your brother was given the gift, let him shine with his gift. Don't envy it. If your sister has been given a gift, encourage her to develop it and do not stand in front of it. We do not have to make one another small in order to feel large. That's the world's way. That is not our way. Look up at night when you go outside about the stars. One star does not have to become another star in order to shine. It shines in the place appointed for it, in the position it was given, at the brightness it was given. And it is not the brightest one that makes the sky beautiful. It is all of the stars together. Take any one of them out, and the heavens is missing some. That is exactly how we should see ourselves in the building of a righteous nation. Take your place, learn your duty, develop your gift, stay humble, and give Allah the praise. But let the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad be who he says Allah made him to be. He told us himself in 3 words, and he never changed the story in 44 years. He says, he taught me. He taught me. That is his testimony. And our responsibility is not to improve on it or not to add to it and not to take it for ourselves. Our responsibility is to study what he was taught, learn it properly, live it, and use it to raise ourselves and our people. So that paragraph has given us a lot. Allah taught his messenger. He taught him in person. He taught him day and night. He taught him the histories of both people, black and white. And the lesson it leaves in our hands is this, brothers and sisters. Know your assignment. Accept your place. Do not do other than yourself. You are valuable in your proper place. And if every one of us took our proper place, we can build the righteous nation Allah desires for. So the messenger says, the black man's God, according to history, he taught me, have all been the wisest. We've been the wisest. They made the white man after their order and wisdom, except the knowledge of how to bring into reality and perfection their vision and idea of what they want to perceive equal to the black man's wisdom. This was kept back. They're forced to build their world on the basis of what they found in the wisdom of the black man, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The white man only made, formed, and put into service those things that met with the carvings and necessities of his people. The white man was given the power of vision and different ways of life to enable him to build an unalike world from what we have had throughout the millions, billions, and trillions of years. If the original people is the maker and the owner, why does his world look like this and our world looks like that? The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad answers it. The white man was given a real and creative mind patterned after ours. But the power to carry a vision all the way into reality and perfection was deliberately withheld from him. So everything he has ever built rests on the knowledge he found in the black man's wisdom rather than the knowledge he originated. Now, the messenger says it plain like this. We are the creators. They make things. Anything that they made was already here in the earth. They make a car. They got the materials, the metals from the earth that was already here, that we have created. So anything they make comes out of our wisdom. But he allowed them to be creative. He is a builder. The messenger goes in and lets us know that some of that knowledge was kept back. And he uses the phrase kept back, and he put it in our problem, number 25. It says the public library of Cairo contains 3,700,000 books, of which 60,000 treat exclusively of mathematics, astronomy, language, and other sciences of life. Mr. Moses brought one book of each kind to civilize the devil 4,000 BC. Now Mr. Sharif wants to know from every one of you students to tell us how much knowledge does the devil possess, comparing him with knowledge of the original man when he only had one book while the original had 59,999. I think that's how much wisdom in comparison. So 60,000 books on sciences of life. One went out. 59,990 stayed home. The chapter says in words, the lesson says it in numbers, same withholding 2 languages. And that ratio is not even close. Hold that up against everything this country teaches our children about who is smart and who is not. We are the wise. And catch one more thing. Moses brought it to him. He did not find it. He did not discover it like Columbus in America, because they don't never discover nothing. Why? Because we're here already. He did not invent it. It was carried to him out of our library by our prophet. Now, notice how the lesson teaches us. He says, the messenger, they are forced to build their world on the basis of what they found in the wisdom of the black man. Forced, not chose to. He has no other option. And the word for how he got it is found. You don't say a man found something he made. The messenger repeats it in 4 paragraphs later so nobody can claim he misspoke. They patterned much of their world after what they saw of the gods of the black man. He was watching us the whole time. So when you drive through this city and look up at what he built, understand what you're looking at. You're looking at your own wisdom in his hands. You see they building AI. You see they building a skyscraper. That's your wisdom in his hands. And he's doing something with it. Now, what I wanted to get into, he says right here, those things that met with the cravings and necessities of his people. He's talking about the white man. He built these things. Now, brothers and sisters, he is solving his own problems. That's what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches. This wisdom that we get is to solve our problems. You can't get this wisdom and not solve your problems. He did not wait on anybody. He did not petition anybody. We're talking about the white man. And that's exactly what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad did for us. The messenger didn't write essays about our condition. He looked up at what our people needed and he put it into service. Land, farms, trucks, stores, a bank, schools for our children, a newspaper. And when he saw what was killing us at our own tables, what did he do? He gave us how to eat to live, 1 and 2. That is the paragraph 10 in action. Only now it is by us, for us. We're not doing something strange. We're doing what a people are supposed to do. The only difference is the source. We had to build on what we found in our wisdom. We're going back into our own. And he was doing exactly what he was made to do. So let us put a question to everyone in this room. If that man built his world, his whole world, around the cravings and necessities of his own people, why have we spent 400 years waiting on him to build ours? Why we expect a man who feeds his own children to feed ours? He's not neglecting us. We are out of order. That's why the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, we don't pick it. If a man don't let you in his house, are you in your right mind? You want to force yourself at another man's house. Think that over. You come into my home, I got pictures of Elijah Muhammad, Messenger of Allah upstairs, and behind me. You come to my house and tell me, take that down and put John F. Kennedy up. You crazy. That's how we are. And we think he neglecting us by saying he didn't put John F. Kennedy up in his house. We out of order. Standing in another man's house asking him to furnish a room for us. The messenger is not asking us to hate that man for serving his own kind. He's asking us why we're not doing the same. There is a lot that we had to go over today, but I'm gonna end this right now, brothers and sisters. And I want to leave you with one question. Will we wake up and use what Allah has given us? Because that is where this subject brings us. Tonight we have been studying the black man. We have been studying who we are. We have been studying our value. We have been studying the power that's within us. And we have been studying why Allah came to restore us back to the knowledge of ourselves. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the black man in America has been deprived of the knowledge of himself. So our resurrection requires re-education. We have to be re-educated back into the knowledge of ourselves. We have to learn who we are. We have to learn who our God is. We have to learn our history. We have to learn our purpose. We have to learn the time in which we are living. Because once you understand the value of yourself, you cannot be satisfied staying in a condition where somebody else defines you. So we have to guard the knowledge of ourselves. And we have to be careful about following those who would take us away from ourselves. Because if a man can deprive you of the knowledge of yourself, he can then begin using you for his purpose instead of you fulfilling your own. And this is what we have been learning all night. The condition we are placed in is not the measure of what we're capable of becoming. The messenger told us in the very chapter that the black man in America is not an example of the original black man. What has done to us is not who we are. Allah looked upon us in our ignorance of himself and of ourselves, and he began the work of cleaning us up and restoring us. That is resurrection. And brothers and sisters, we're living in a time when we must respond to it. We cannot simply hear the teaching. We have to use it. We have to take the wisdom Allah gave to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and build. Build for ourselves, build for our families, build our children, build our institutions, and ultimately build our nation. This is what the wisdom is for. It was never given so that we could sound intelligent. It was given so that we can produce something. And when we say this wisdom will never be exhausted, understand what that means. There is enough here for us to keep learning, keep developing, keep producing, and keep building for as long as we live and long after we're gone. Wisdom that we never use cannot build anything. Knowledge sitting on a shelf does not resurrect anybody. We have to put it into practice. We have to take what Allah gave us and make something out of it. Now, brothers and sisters, the charge to us tonight is not mine. It was written down for us before I was born. Hear what Master Farah Muhammad, to whom praises is due forever, left with the labors of Islam before his departure. He says, arise, the dead by the thousand. The dead nation must arise, for the time is at hand. Work cheerfully and fear not. You are the righteous, the best, and the powerful. Now, brothers and sisters, that's not my opinion of us. That is what God said about us. So arise and believe something about yourself again. Recognize your own value. Recognize the value of the brothers beside you. Recognize the value of the sister beside you. Recognize the value of our children. And then recognize the power that exists when all of that comes together in unity. Because brothers and sisters, there is power in us coming together. There is power in us studying together. There is power in us building together. And there is power in us loving ourselves and our own. And there is power in us standing under our divine banner, the sun, moon, and star. The messenger said himself plainly, all of us who are working for the black man will unite, and the work will be stronger if we will unite together and do the work together. We do not want to keep being gathered into somebody else's program while we stay separated from our own. We are already seeing what happens to a people who lose the knowledge of themselves and let somebody else set the direction for their lives. So tonight I'm asking you to get behind the teachings and the program of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Get behind it. Study it. Live it. Support it. And put your hands to work in it in whatever position Allah has given you. Brothers and sisters, the question is not whether the knowledge is available. The knowledge has been given. The question is not whether we have value. Allah has shown us our value. The question is not whether we have the ability. Master Farad Muhammad, whom praise is due forever, already told us what we are: the righteous, the best, and powerful. The question for you and me is this: will we wake up and use it? Will we study it? Will we discipline our lives? Will we unite? Will we build? Will we take our proper place? And will we do our part in the resurrection of our people? Brothers and sisters, I want to thank each of every one of you for being here tonight. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attendance. Thank you for your patience. This was a long class, but it was a powerful subject because sometimes we have to take our time in order to understand the value of you, the value of me, and the value of us. Never discount yourself. Never underestimate what Allah has placed within us. Never forget what happens when we come together around the knowledge of ourselves. So continue studying, continue sharing these teachings. Take this message far and wide to our brothers and sisters who are searching for the knowledge of themselves. And visit www.templeofislam.com. Keep studying, keep learning about yourself, free of charge. Every book and recorded lecture of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is held there. Follow us and subscribe online and bring somebody with you next Wednesday. That is our contribution to the resurrection and the education of our people. And guess what, brothers and sisters? It costs you nothing. Brothers and sisters, we love you. We appreciate you. We thank Allah for you. And I pray that we leave here tonight not merely saying we heard something good, but determined to do something good with what we heard. Rise, brothers and sisters. Work cheerfully and fear not. You are the righteous, the best, and the powerful. With that, I greet you in our nation's greetings of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum.